Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. You are watching Tarot with Kuga. Today is actually Monday, September 7th. I was supposed to have this video ready for September 6th through the 12th. I am still adapting to a brand new schedule, so I apologize for the delay. But I am super excited to get going with our message for the week, brought to you by the Santa Muerte Book of the Dead Tarot deck. So with that, let's get started. As you remember, our first card is our situation or guidance. We have the Nine of Cups. This is a very magical card, as this card shows an image of a ship going forward. If you look at the waves that are at the front of the ship, it looks like the ship is moving with a great momentum. So we have smooth sailing ahead of us. We can see what's ahead. It looks like, you know, things are calm. There's a crystal blue water. And what are we carrying on this ship? But with our heartfelt emotions, our treasure chest is full and abundant. So this is a very positive sign. And so what it tells me is, you know, from last week's high energy where a lot of stuff was going on, things are going to be a little calmer. So let's take a look at the advice of the dead for the Nine of Cups. And if you remember, our cups evolve around our emotions. But, you know, like with the image of a treasure chest, what I'm also picking up is just that we have peace and content. You know, it's just, we're happy with what we have right now. We're, you know, we've come through some rough times and we're finally coming to a area of peace. So let's read the advice of the dead. Follow with full sails and without fear. You have reached victory, but it has not yet the moment to stop and dock. Keep going. Greater things are coming ahead of us. And so if we're not quite at this moment, or if we need some guidance to continue with this wonderful, peaceful moment, let's look at what the sun has to say. And if you remember, our sun is kind of like our action items. And so with that, we have the Nine of Wands. And here, it kind of looks like there's some busy things happening. You know, like there is like this heavy workload. But she has this scythe that is ready just to cut it. And it's like a quick whoop, you know, and things are done. And also, you know, as for somebody like me, you know, like when you're faced with a mountain of work or something to do, you know, it's kind of like you could just have a little moment of doubt. But if you look at the situation, you know, keep your heart centered, emotions in check, you can face whatever work that you have ahead of you. You know, you can move forward with faith. You just gotta put a little work into it to find your moment of peace. You know, don't, you know, not, you know, I'm not saying like let people, you know, walk all over you and be a doormat, but do you really want to sit here and argue with somebody whose opinion, or, you know, you're not going to change their opinion? So why even go into a discussion about this? You know, it seems like lately it's just two sides are talking and nobody's listening. So, you know, go forward, and it's going to be work, but have courage and things will get done, and you will get to that momentum where, you know, it's like it's smooth sailing. But you also have the moon that's available. So, you know, again, you know, there are things to dwell on, you know, for the night, you know, reflect, quiet meditation, you know, build your intuition. So what is it that we can get from the moon to help us face what it is we have to do? What will help us get to the point where we can just simply cut this workload or whatever it is that is coming ahead of us? Well, we have been given the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords, to me, I love this picture because generally with a tarot deck, when you get an ace of whatever suit, it is usually the hand of God that is handing something, the cup, the wands, the pentacles, and the sword. And so in this particular case, you know, we see that heaven is illuminating the sword, and the sword is just thrust into the ground but is smiling. You know, it's like, I got this. So with the Ace of Swords, we actually come through with some clear thoughts. We can, you know, divine inspired ideas to kind of help us deal with something. And so I just kind of realized I hadn't read the Advice of the Dead from the Wands, and so it'll be a perfect opportunity for back-to-back to read the Advice of the Dead of the Wands and the Advice of the Dead from the Swords. So, you know, we keep our thoughts. We have thoughts that are going to be coming to us at night that are divine guided. It's up to us whether or not we listen, but it will definitely help us take care of that busy moment during the day, you know, where, you know, we can trust in what we have been, with the information we have been given. You know, have faith in what is handed, the information that you're guided to. Trust in it, and it allows you to move forward. So let's take a look at our Nine of Wands. And it's kind of interesting because, you know, we have the number of the cards, which is 991. I just saw that, and that, you know, so the 9 is kind of like a completion of something, you know, where it's like a successful ending. And then the Ace is like of new beginnings, divine guidance. So very positive numbers. And, you know, if you look at this, you have 19, which breaks down to 10, which breaks down to 1, which breaks down to divine guidance. So go forward fearlessly. You know, the universe has your back. So quickly, let's go to the Nine of Wands and get the Advice of the Dead. And the Advice of the Dead for the Wands is, wow, I'm having a hard time finding here. Where are my wands? Okay, so I have my handy dandy guidebook from Fabiola Strani, and we now have the wands. So the Advice of the Dead for the Nine of Wands is, take the situation in hand and with patience fight for what you wish to attain while waiting for a more favorable moment. Again, so it's kind of like what I'm getting here is trust in the faith, and when, you know, when is the right time to take your action, and, you know, it's knowing that it's going to be favorable. So with the the Ace of Swords, what we have is, the Advice of the Dead is, evaluate and choose carefully the direction in which you wish to channel your abundant intellectual and subconscious energies. Wow. So again, the universe is seeking for that connection with our subconscious and our conscious. And once we have that connection, you know, focusing from the night, from the Ace of Swords with the moon, we have the confidence to deal with whatever it is, the work we have to put into, whatever we have to, you know, the test of faith that will allow us to move forward. Whatever situation we're going to encounter, we're still going to have peace, we're going to have happiness, we're going to be sailing forward to our heart's content. So with that, I want to send everybody love, light, and many, many blessings. Take care.